Review from the Ingraham angle tonight. Last Friday in Miami, Florida, President Obama and former Governor Jeb Bush took the stage together in an education forum. Ms. Laura believes that was a mistake, and she joins us now from Washington. Why was it a mistake?
Look, I'm looking at this. I think you think I'm looking at it as an ideologue here, but it's actually great for conservatives for the president to be on stage, right, with Jeb Bush, because look, it mixes it up, and maybe a couple of things that Obama has done on education is a good thing. But the bottom line is Jeb Bush knows his state is a battleground state in the next election. He knows the president, for all intents and purposes, has kicked off his reelection bid. So it's a little interesting, to say the least, for Jeb Bush to offer his own credibility and his own gravitas to the president in this event. And there was a little bit of it wasn't as bad as Charlie Crist embracing him for the stimulus package, but it was pretty close.
All right, but I'm sure Governor Bush would say, listen, my primary goal is the same as the president's, to try to get quality education for every American kid. So I'm up there, and I've got a forum, he's got a forum, we're coming together to raise awareness. This is a very, very important issue. And I don't know if there's a downside to that. I understand what you're saying, and I agree.
It's a little odd.
This is going to shock you, but I actually agree with you 100%. That the Obama people, I know, it's going to ruin your reputation. You're not going to be able to go on the radio tomorrow.
No.
The president and his organization used this, I believe, politically, to campaign. They absolutely did. I'm not disagreeing with that. But if I were Governor Bush, I probably would have gone.
What does he get out of it? Well, what is the number?
Well, he gets a spotlight on that. He did he was very successful in his education policies.
Here's what I have to say. Here's what I have to say. If the president wanted to talk to Jeb Bush at the White House and say, look, I want to pick your brain. I like some of the things you did in Florida. Let's talk. I think that'd be great for Jeb Bush to try to help this president on education. But I have one thing to say. D.C. Opportunity Scholarships. Those kids in D.C. who are desperate to get out of failing schools. This president said no to a measly $11 million supporting that funding for that wonderfully innovative program in the District of Columbia. That for me really defined this administration's hypocrisy on education. And for Jeb Bush to know that the president is down in Florida campaigning, he raised $1 million at other events down there. It's just very odd. I think it's just an interesting question for Bush supporters to have to answer. Why do you think at the kickoff, essentially, of the 2012 campaign, did Jeb Bush feel like it was important to appear on stage with Barack Obama? They're together on globalism. They're together on amnesty. I think Jeb Bush and Barack Obama have a lot more in common on some key issues than Jeb Bush has with the Tea Party movement. That's interesting, and I think that's worth discussing.
Okay. Today, the White House initiated an anti-bullying campaign, which I'm sure you support, because I do, and every American should.
As long as you don't bully me, I'm totally fine.
Well,
Bill.
Laura, nobody could bully you. You beat the hell out of them. I mean, come on, it's impossible.
No, yeah. Thanks.
And here is what the president had to say. Go.
As adults, we all remember what it was like to see kids picked on in the hallways or in the schoolyard, and I have to say, with big ears and the name that I have, I wasn't immune. I didn't emerge unscathed. But because it's something that happens a lot, and it's something that's always been around, sometimes we've turned our blind eye to the problem.
Now, I would have appeared with Obama on stage if he had asked me, because I think bullying is a terrible problem in America, and I think it has to be addressed at that level. What say you?
I think I can't even believe I just heard you say that, Bill. I mean, bullying, of course, it's a bad thing. There are a lot of bad things out there. But I know you know this because you cover it every night. The world is blowing up. We are seeing out of control gas prices, oil prices. We are seeing our economy teeter. We're losing influence every day. China's military is on the rise. Libya, we're apparently happy to cede our authority and our influence to France and other countries. And yet the administration spends an entire day on a school behavioral problem that is best left to localities and school districts to do.
I disagree with you. I think we have to have a national awareness of it. I mean, look, I think you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Now, is he chewing gum correctly on the issues that you brought up? No.
Bill, the country, let me quote to you what he said in January. Again, this is no spin zone. I'm going to give it to you no spin. He said that what's happening with middle class, losing these 7 million jobs, now it's about 8 million, It's an epidemic that demands relentless and sustained response from us. I won't rest until we're doing just that, helping out the middle class. A relentless and sustained response. His fellow Democrats, Bill, on Capitol Hill, are basically begging him to get involved in this budget battle on Capitol Hill. I can only imagine how much time and energy and focus it took for all these White House staffers to do this bullying thing.
I think you can do both.
How is it a federal issue? Bill, answer the question. How is it a federal issue?
It's an important issue that needs to be elevated.
Then do a PSA. Don't spend $130 million of the U.S. taxpayers' money on it. I think it's an absolute waste of his time, and it shows that he's an unserious person. Bullying is bad, but it's not a federal issue.
All right, I disagree with Ms. Laura on that one.